walk you through what's about to happen. You will complete your work on Madden and you will then transfer Dorothy Burke to your care. There will be no more discussion of craniotomies. No more arguing. You will do it, and then you will get the fuck out of my OR.
Oh shit. Something just happened. Give me a second. I can do it. Yeah.
Neither of you is in operating theater at the time.
That's correct.
So this is all secondhand information, all hearsay.
Yes.
Just plain devil's advocate. From your recitation of the events that day, Dr. Dunge could make a case that he was distracted.
Did you not hear about the hole in the script? I don't think you heard about the hole.
I agree. We all agree that there were some surgical misadventures at play in Dr. Dunge's surgery last week, but there are other issues. We have a circulating nurse demonstrating a measure of noncompliance, an x-ray tech challenging a surgeon, and an administrator barging into an OR mid-procedure.
They were doing their part to stop an out-of-control surgeon. I was at Baylor Plano. I saw what he's capable of. Or, no, better put, incapable of. What about the craniotomy? He was demanding a procedure the hospital didn't have privileges to perform.
The doctor who took over Dorothy Burke's case stated a craniotomy might have saved her life. Quote, I would have grabbed the local handyman's drill to perform it. Unquote. Dr. Dunge may not have gone about it the right way, but it appears he may have been right. We receive hundreds of these reports every year. We take each case seriously. But you both know that there is context to every story. Mistakes do happen to every doctor, even I'm sure to you both.
Okay. Alright, let's go tomorrow.
Yes.
I can put it together right now.
Alright.
You are going to suspend his license. I mean, what happens to him in the meantime?
You can't do that.
Why the hell not?
The attorneys will go for that. We'd be opening
I
our
don't even know how it happened because it was above the walls.
That's our number one priority.
But what's to prevent him from seeking privilege?
Yeah, I know you right job when you heard it.
Yeah, but I already know if that turns into a major, you know what I'm saying? It's not that serious, but her is serious. That'd be the one thing she don't remember. She don't remember every picture that was supposed to be right there. Oh my God.
Thankfully, it was just by cardboard.
Difficult week. Right there was a urologist. A urologist, you got me?
Yo, Tice, come here.
Come
Come here.
A urologist.
Tice.
She's more apt to see the case than this. Look at that hot water. That could be a fucking
Live. Alright, so we have week 3, right? This is week 3 of season 1 real draft 6. We still got diaper dandy conversation to talk about. You hear my boy Mike Ritter's Coats. Okay, Mike, change the name of that in the chat. Yeah. Sorry, man. We got 3 games played, 2 games played. We're ready to go into week 3 as we continue our run through this season and see how things go. Guys picked up a lot. Man, listen, the draft was off the hook. I thought guys did a hell of a job. I'm going to keep saying that until we get into the next draft and guys do a hell of a job. But right now, what I feel like we have 2 things to do. Just give y'all a quick plug on what's going on this show. If you tuned in and you type your thing in the chat, in the comment section, and you are involved in this show, I'm looking to do a +2 too. And this might be a +2 too. You can tell me who you want on, right? Yourselves. It will be some limits on what you can do it on. Trust me. It will be some limits on what you can do it on. Trust me. Now, with that being said, you know what I mean, hit that like button. You know what to do. Screenshot the fact that you hit the like button. Show us you like the video. All right, comment your team's name in the video. Tells us that you're paying attention and you are on right now. This is not for after the broadcast go off and you watch it later on and then hit me for a gift. We got to start understanding this. I shouldn't have to be doing gifts from last season right now, right? So the moment this show is over, let's get the shit done. Get what you got to get done. So everything goes to the Giants coach all the time. Anytime we do gifts on our shows, your proof goes to the Giants coach. If I'm doing a gift where you can pick the player, you send the proof and the player you want done to the Giants coach. If it's a me gift, handing out gifts, you just send your proof to the Giants coach, and then I'll take care of everything from there. Let's go through the couple of weeks of what happened in the first 2 weeks stat-wise. Who had player of the weeks right now? Let's see if we can find some diaper dandies in the building. Well, we got second-year player Darien Thomas Jr. He goes the hell off, 22 for 26, 426 touchdowns. He was sacked 3 times. He also had 16 yards rushing. We saw that Javonte Williams had a 21 carries for 181 yards, 8.6, 2 rushing touchdowns. He also had 4 receptions out the backfield for 115. He had a dynamic game, 28.8 yards per catch and a receiving touchdown. Chris Irons, the $200 million man, 6 tackles, 4 interceptions, and 1 touchdown. They're getting their money's worth out of him, I see. And Ed Reed the second, man. Ed Reed's son, 2 tackles, 3 interceptions out there in Baltimore. We get to week 2, and we're looking at 14 receptions for 538 yards receiving. Did I just see this right? 14 catches for 538 yards, 10 touchdowns. Hold up, man.
6 interceptions. Oh, God.
I'm sorry. I need to know who he did this to.
The Cheesehead Packers. Dilly. Man,
why I can't get nobody in my division like this, bro? Stat game like this. I mean, even Eli Berry has 7 tackles and 6 interceptions in this game. I mean, I need a stat game like this, Snake. I mean, we in these hard-ass divisions and shit. We need stat games like this ourselves. This man threw 10 touchdown passes to 1 receiver on Hero Burgers. Crazy.
Damn,
I need to dive one more. You dive in one more?
Man.
This is crazy. I think I do.
Shout out to them Hollywood. They got that $200 million man. He might have bought that voodoo up there.
Right. He out here.
Got that thing out there.
Pitting turkeys. Out here pitting turkeys in. I don't know if I got it, sweetheart. Yes, I do. Yeah, but that's just
back around.
Respectful because I think that's a record book situation. I think that's a record book thing, Snake.
On both ends, possibly. Offense and defense.
Have we ever had a guy have 6 INTs in one game?
Man, let's go check the record books.
You got to be an ass user to motherfucking let somebody pick you off 6 times.
Oh, let's see.
And throw 10 touchdowns to one guy. You know he throwing to him the whole game. Lamar, I mean, I don't know how he got player of the week with these numbers. I could see it. I mean, he was 12 for 17, 164, 4 passing touchdowns. He was sacked twice, 8 carries for 103 yards and a rushing touchdown. They're not gaudy numbers, though. That means nobody on offense stepped in the AFC last week. Smoochie Wally had 2 tackles, 2 interceptions, 2 touchdowns. So both his picks went to the crib. Had to be. All right, so that's our top players of the week 1 and week 2. We will not be talking about stats and awards, but we will talk about who had the top performances of the first 2 weeks as far as where they at stat-wise. We're going to always talk about stats. But there's nothing to talk about as far as awards and all that good shit. You know, we're going to do that till week 9 right now. So let's get to the rosters right now. The last team we stopped with off air was the Jaguars. And we are taking down 30-year-olds. You guys have to start paying attention. All right? If you grabbed a lot of old players out of free agency that had abilities on them, it's the reason why they was in free agency. Right? Guys know that 30-year players and older, if they don't have a great year to remain on Superstar X Factor or Superstar, they will get dropped. All right. That means they're going to lose their abilities to make room for the guys that are coming in the league. So when you got games, you get your breakout messages. I'm quite sure some of you guys haven't seen tandem breakouts and breakout messages for a long time. That's because the league is full of Superstar X Factors and stars already. So, right, what happens is we get to a total amount once you reach that amount, they stop letting people unlock to, you know, or develop higher.
You put a block on it.
Right, they put a block on it. So we have to drop the veterans out of the league that's not playing anymore at a high level. They got to come down. So this will affect some of you guys who sign some of these free agents. When we drop players, we also take their signing bonus away, so you don't take a penalty when it's time for you to cut them, because you're not going to keep them on your team. I just don't see how. Now my man
more
B
vigorous with it this year because you've been real lenient on it the last 2 years, and
right.
going in the real draft. We want to encourage everybody. We want to encourage the flow of the real draft players. So it ain't gonna be a whole lot of we dropping them.
All right, now the Jets, Brian, you've been in a situation where you picked up a lot of these guys. I think I'm going to cut you some slack for right now, because now that your schedule's freed up and you can actually play games, in my opinion, I think you kind of need it right now. So I'm not going to hurt you too bad, but it's going to we're going to have to take some of them guys down. It will depend on, you know, situations where we'll keep it at. But we'll talk, you know, off air and all that. But I'm gonna skip your team. You probably got the most fucking veterans on your team right now. We're gonna skip it on air and we'll talk off air before we play our game tonight. With that being said, let's get to these Jaguars. We already did the Jaguars, or we stopped here?
Nah, we ain't do the Jaguars. We gotta do the Jaguars.
So we go age base right now, and let's see how many old heads. Let's see how many guys got old motherfuckers on their team right now. Obviously, if it's a kicker or offensive lineman, we will not touch them guys. So Lambeau's great. Josh Allen will come down, right? He sat down all last season. He's a backup right now. And we're probably going to put in a system in place for quarterbacks that's sitting on X factors and superstars on people's benches. If you got 3, one of them's coming down. If you got 2, it's going to be a 2-year window. We're going to get these guys. So say you draft a rookie and you're not playing him yet, and he comes out on Superstar X Factor, we'll give you 2 seasons with that guy to make a decision what you're going to do with him. And if you don't play him, he's just sitting there because the starter's in front of him, he's coming down. And every year he don't play, he drop either farther. So if he come out of X Factor and you don't play him in 2 years, he goes down to a superstar. And if he doesn't play in the next 2 years, he goes down to a star. You get what I'm saying? So we're going to start doing that, and that's not age-based. That's just quarterbacks, period. All right, so a lot of guys got all these dumb double-ass quarterbacks, and they all got abilities all crazy and shit like that, and they don't never see the fucking field. Sorry, not going to happen. All right, so now 30-year-old Josh Allen, after being a comeback player of the year for Coach Hoodie, loses his job after getting those guys to the playoffs. And then next thing you know, they draft Mike Weber, and Josh Allen's career is over. Let's continue to play, continue to see what's going on the depth chart over here. So as you go from Lambeau to Josh Allen, DK Metcalf. This is the situation, Snake. Here we go. Do I have to dig into the stats live, or you guys already took care of this thing right now, man? I'll dig into the stats live and see what's happening.
He was straight, I believe.
Yeah, DK stays the same, man. Way to play with DK.
Touchdowns, 11 hit, 100 yards.
I mean, you can argue X Factor the superstar, but I just think he played, you know, consistently for. You see those numbers? There's a lot of 1,000-yard seasons, a lot of double-digit touchdowns.
His numbers went up even from last year.
Yeah,
you know, he dipped a little bit last year, but they went back up, and he
went back up. Yeah, so he started becoming a true number 2 over there on that team. How about Keiondre Jones, the right outside linebacker? Snip, 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 snip. I'm in the middle of the show, and I'm getting text messages for what right now? What the hell is going on? Oh, all right. My boy on his job right now. You could have sent that to Max. You still sending it to me, though. Still don't listen. So I'm going to ignore that like I never saw it, because you still don't listen. Hey, do you guys want me to show you all their stats live, or you guys trust my co-hosts in that they did their jobs already? We can speed this process up, or I can show you guys this live. All right, but we're going to look at Keiondre Jones. Tell me what it is. Is he dropping?
No, Keiondre Jones dropping last season.
Yes, he didn't play at all.
10 tackles. He ain't played at all. He ain't played in 2 seasons.
All right.
And in a case like this is what we're talking about in reference to just a quarterback. So you got a superstar that's been sitting on this bench for like 2-3 seasons. It ain't no reason to have him a superstar, but, you know, that's all. A lot of new ones are coming in the game.
Yeah, like in these situations, you're not gonna play these guys. You got to try to get rid of them. Whether you don't get what you want, but you can get something for them, man. You got to get rid of these guys because there are people in this league that could use these guys. So what happens is his shit drops down to 0. He already at 10, and then we keep him there, and he's out of ups. Why did I do that? Saved it without dropping him. Sorry, young man. It was nice. You did. The coach said you did your job for when they needed you. You did your job. All right.
And you going through the whole? I don't know if you're going through the whole rosters or if you just go to their total roster.
Yeah, I'm on total roster,
Okay.
and I'm just doing it by age base. I'm not going through each position. I'm just going through total roster. All right, so we back.
On this squad is
Dylon Moses, man. Dylon. What are we doing? Does he stay? Does he stay? Does he drop?
Out of here.
He's out of here.
He ain't played in 2 seasons.
Ain't played in 2 seasons. Let's go save this man some money.
Had eight tackles, no tackles for loss. That's it, the whole season.
8 tackles, man. I tell you this though, what happens is in this case he wins in this situation because he's great. Save some money now. He 21 million that goes back to 0 for this guy, and then he goes down to 10 million. And now you're looking at money you just saved right now. So in a way, this is a good thing, you know, for guys that aren't using these guys. My bad. It was supposed to be 10. I'm not even fixing that. I don't feel like sitting through that shit. Normal. Let's go. All right. So as you can see, you know, these old fuckers on your roster are. They could be money situations for you. How about Dwayne Eskridge? He's not on anything. Is he a star or something? What is he? Let's see. Nothing on Woodnett already. 30 years old. He probably already took him down himself. All right, that's the Jaguars. 30 and older. Got you. Like I said, the Jets. You're in a situation you ain't been around in a while. You know, so guys like Humphreys, Chad Surratt he been a baller. He wouldn't drop anyway.
Surratt got numbers. He wouldn't drop.
He not gonna drop, right?
Nah, he went crazy in free agency. I think the only you got Humphreys, Hardman, and question about Gibson, Antonio Gibson.
What did Antonio? What was his numbers? Antonio Gibson's numbers last year.
Let's go back over there. All right, so this past year, the previous year. 300 carries, 1,400 yards, 16 touchdowns.
All right, he can keep. He's going to stay. This is what we're going to do.
And then the year after, I figured he was going to get
Humphrey come from your team. Did he have a season to be able to stay on ability right now or no?
Nah.
All right, so I'm going to cut you slack. This is what I'm going to do. I'm going to drop him from X Factor to Superstar. So he lose the X Factor ability, but he's going to keep the Superstar, and I'm going to give you 1 year with these guys, and then it's a wrap. And I should have checked this money. It look like you in the rear, buddy. Let's go look at his money. Actually, you'll have to deal with those until, how about Jair Alexander?
I think he come down too. Hold on, let me get my... Yep, Jair Alexander come down.
All right,
Humphrey, Alexander, and Hardman.
All right, so this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna take this little check right here down, and he's gonna come down to a Superstar, and you got a year with him. All right, as long as you playing your games. The moment you're not playing your games, they get dropped. You back now, so let's go. Surratt stays the same. Lineman doesn't get touched. Punter doesn't get touched. How about McCall Hardman? That's another one of your players.
That's another one, yeah.
He comes down?
Yep.
All right, so we're going to bring him down to a Superstar as well.
Nobody in this group believes that.
We'll save you some chicken here. You need it, my boy. You need it, my boy. And you know you're my boy. I got your back all the time.
Came back and jumped free agency, went crazy. I'm
did.
Stay, but I need a squad.
All right.
Ain't mad at
Ain't nothing wrong with a 1 year rental. Nothing wrong with a 1 year rental.
Not at all. You know, fool around and get some tandem breakouts. Just because we knowing some other stuff in the league. And you got some vets there.
Is that it? Because we leaving Antonio Gibson played well enough to stay there. Yep, that's it.
Gibson, he said 14.
All right, let's look at the Lions. See where he's at. So the Lions has one old head. He's coming down or he's good?
He come down. Everybody else in the Lions good.
Alright, so you're gonna save yourself some money here on total salary while we listen to little badass Rob.
Rob and the Roblets.
Swear, you know the babs.
Like shit.
Alright, let's get to the
Packers.
Packers.
For a second there.
What are we doing over here? How many Packers is on here? That's on their way down.
I think he let some go already, so Savage.
Alright, yeah, Savage ain't there. Dante Jackson ain't on abilities. Chavin White not on ability. They might be on stars. Yep. Comes down. Dante Jackson comes down to a normal. We need to get these stars because I put a lot of every diaper dandy that gets drafted. 20-year-old will be a star, so he already don't got no bread. Normal like a motherfucker. Let's go back up to the age. And let's look at Javin White. Is he a star? Normal. We ain't gotta touch him. Good job. Javelin Godry. Normal. Khalil Dorsey coming the fuck down. And see, the problem is he's gonna argue with me like, yo man, what happened to my players? And don't pay attention and shit. Stop getting these old motherfuckers. This is a real draft. You know what I'm saying?
He must have just picked him up.
Rashad Gary. What about Rashad Gary?
Double checking it. I thought he was alright. I'm just double checking now.
I know he was shitting for him, so.
Shit, actually, Rashad Gary would probably come down. That's one of them jumps you have to look at. But I mean, I'd take him down. 30 tackles, 3 tackles for loss, and 2 sacks.
Oh, now he coming the fuck down.
He come down, right?
I don't gotta save him no money either. I'm just broke already.
You took Savage down?
I don't even see Savage. He ain't on his roster no more. He already cut him.
Oh, he cut him?
Yeah, he ain't stupid.
Oh, okay.
Unless he moved him a line, he might have moved him to guard or something, just so I can't see him right now. Then move him back. You gotta watch Hillberger. He's slick as hell. He'll move the motherfucker to another position and shit, but like, yeah, nigga.
Back out and everything.
What?
Alright, so let's go to the Panthers right now, man. Drafted my fucking Florida State defensive end, man. He killed me. I thought he'd be there for me in the second round. Looking for old heads over here. Alright, punter. Brian Burns.
Still on his roster at free safety on my screen, bro.
Why he ain't on? He ain't on mine. I don't see him over here. There you go. Darnell Savage drops. Shit, he played middle linebacker last year for him, cheating his ass off. Remember that was linebacker gate. He ain't got good stats.
Yeah. All he got is 36 tackles, 2 tackles for loss, 1 sack, and 5 interceptions. Like, if he started at linebacker, he should have at least twice as many tackles as that.
He ain't do shit. He comes down.
Panthers.
Alright, that's it. Let's go to the Panthers. Only person I saw so far with the Panthers, we looking at Brian Burns.
He only had 230 and those Burns and Shin. I mean, Shin playing at a better. He only a star. Burns had like double-digit sacks. Didn't he have like 14, 15 sacks? Yeah. Burns had 11 sacks, 5 tackles for loss. So.
And like, yeah, that's what that is.
47 tackles, 5 tackles for loss, 11 sacks.
I don't think he loses. He had double-digit sacks.
That's a good question.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't think he loses the X factor, but he got to come down to superstar.
That's extra.
So he come down to superstar.
He gonna come down to superstar. He's ready to save a lot of money too. That these motherfuckers was getting some bread over here. That signing bonus thick. Get that down to 0. Get that 64 down to motherfucking.
I'm here.
10. So that's a nice little chunk of money he's gonna save himself. And he replaced him with a rookie with a diaper dandy anyway. Like he drafted in the first round, he got my boy, the D tackle, Jermaine Johnson and shit. I thought he would sit to the second. He was smart enough to grab his ass, Brian Burns. But guess what? Brian Burns still can play for you right now on Superstar. Alright, the Panthers is done, right? That was it. They were his guys. Let's go to the Patriots and see how many old motherfuckers Nano got. Alright, Kyle Duggar.
Kyle Duggar stat. He on X Factor. He 73 tackles, 12 tackles for loss, 3 interceptions and a sack.
How many tackles?
Tackles for loss. 73 tackles. It's basically the same. The year before he had 80. He got 12 tackles for loss. That went up. He got a sack and 3 interceptions.
Yeah, he kind of stay. He stay.
He still had double-digit tackle for losses.
Yeah.
I think that's.
I see.
I say he kind of alright with that, right?
All right, we're looking at the Redskins right now. Wide receiver Chris Godwin, is he on normal or star? Normal. Doesn't look like none of his guys are really getting touched. Jalen Camp, let's see what he's on. Normal. And Brandon Ayuk is on star. He comes down. I ain't even got to look at his stats. He don't throw the ball at all anyway. You know he coming down.
The 49ers, right.
Alright, he good. Yes, sir. Take him down. So we go to the 49ers roster right now. Let's see what we got. I mean, the Rams. Why you say 49ers?
Why you say Red? Oh, hold on. I'm tripping.
We go from the Raiders to the Rams.
Redskins. Oh, you was on the Raiders.
Yeah, I went from Jaguars. You said we started from Jaguars last team we didn't get to, right?
Right, you just said the Redskins. And it just
my bad.
A little bit.
Raiders.
You're right.
Now we on the Rams. Let's see how many old motherfuckers the Rams got. Let's go age-based. And we're looking at Buda Baker at 32 years old.
Let's see. He had 59 tackles. He went down tackles. He had 7 interceptions, 1 tackle for loss. His tackles went down by 20, but he had 2 more interceptions. I mean.
All right, so Buda going to drop to a superstar. And he's still serviceable at 32 years old. And we're looking at Buda Baker. He don't need to get no bread saved. Go down to superstar. Superstar. Remember when we were jacking cars? Nah, save for you. Jalen Ramsey. You switch like a pussy little bitch.
Pretty sure he was alright. I'm almost positive. Yeah, 63 tackles, 6 interceptions, 14 deflections. He good.
He good. Robert Rochelle, another corner on his team. Superstar right now.
I think he go. Double checking. Rod Rochelle, well, he had 73 tackles, 1 tackle for loss, 1 interception, 2 deflections. His tackles went up by 20.
So that's gonna save him. That's gonna save him. He gotta come down to a star, bro. You play cornerback. You're not out here motherfucking here to tackle. I like the tackles that went up to 20, but like there's no real production at the DB stat. Even if it's not a lot of interceptions, he could have had like 4 or 5 picks. I would be comfortable with that. I'm gonna drop him down to a star.
He's 30 years old, 79 overall. This guy got way better cornerbacks. Yeah. I don't even know how he's on the field like that, to be honest. Just if you was to look at his cornerback room, only got Blackshear and that.
He just picked up Martin Johnson.
Martin Johnson, like I don't even know like how you gotta check, make sure he's playing the actual cornerback spot. I don't know how you check the field at the cornerback spot.
What about Christian Uphoff? Safety.
He's a star.
Yeah,
he gets dropped. You put him normal.
It's not safe for you. You switch like a pussy little bitch. Damn, I ain't got no.
Drop middle linebacker Snowden.
Snowden drops.
Yep. His tackles got cut in half. 33 tackles, 1 tackle for loss.
Damn, my boy Snowden. You got some good usage out of him. He got a lot of veterans over here. What, Aaron Donald retired or something?
He must have.
He had fullback. He good. All right, next team up, Ravens. Let's see. They don't even got no old heads really. So let's see. Don't touch the kickers or the punters. They good. That's it. Nobody else is 30. Get off of my dick. Let's go to the fucking Saints. All right, the Saints got 2, and what about Derek Brown, that D tackle, 30-year-old? The lineman stays. Tyree Phillips, I mean. But what about Derek Brown?
Derek Brown good. 39 tackles, 10 tackles for loss, 2 sacks. Got double-digit tackles for loss.
That's not X Factor still though. Superstar like a motherfucker.
He came from Carolina. He was an all-season Johnny. He actually had more. If you look at his numbers, he actually went up. I think he must have got him out of free agency, but that's your call. Look at his stats.
So then nah, if he went up, he get to stay. Nah, not gonna do him dirty. We stay by the rules.
He went up.
All right, let's look at the Seahawks right now. They're looking at what they looking like. My man got it together over here. He looking like Gus over here. Keep it up, Harold. Before I go any further, last year Harold got the most improved coach of the year. All right. When it comes down to the real draft class, you guys know I built real players in the draft classes, real players from all the way out and all the way down to high school. We'll go about 7 to 8 seasons, so we're gonna be getting guys that's coming out as sophomores, high school, on their way to their junior, senior seasons. That we're going to be getting in our league. You know, as you do the years that go by, those guys, you know, move on. They go from freshman to sophomore, same thing in college. Well, we had a player that was always one of my favorite players, Journey Brown. If any of you guys remember the story, I'm always going to tell this story. I'm always going to talk about Journey Brown. Every year I'm supposed to put him in the draft when we start real draft. Every year. And the problem was I forgot to do it this time. But it was perfect that I forgot it, because then it allowed me to make the guy, right? And then give the Seahawks, in my opinion, a perfect gift. Now, if you know Journey Brown, freshman year in Penn State, started to play a little bit. Saquon Barkley was there. And then Miles Sanders was there, right? And then his sophomore year, he blew up. And one of his most famous games was against Memphis. In a bowl game, he went crazy, and he came. You know, that year he was off the hook. Now he's a 4.2 guy. He runs a 4.25. He would have been the number one rookie in the draft this year, flat out. He would have been the number 1 running back in the draft, and it would have been by far. He was that good, having that type of career in a college that was known for running backs, Penn State. So Journey Brown, you know, could no longer play football. He was having complications breathing, and he went to a specialist and went to 3 or 4 of them. And there's a big story on him. I will post it in the chat for guys that want to check it out. And Journey Brown was diagnosed with a heart disease that stopped him from playing football. If he was to take another hit, anything the wrong way, we could have saw, you know, possibly his last time ever taking a football hit. So his career ended. I think Journey will have a career in coaching in real life. I don't think Penn State, you know, is going to play him out. He still was able to finish school on a scholarship, and I think he's going to be a part of the coaching staff. And hopefully, you know, God takes him into that path. You don't get to go play NFL football, but you get to be around it. Still be around football as a coach. Great human being, great guy. And, you know, to me, again, that was one of my favorite players. Best believe, with me having the first overall pick in that draft, I would have drafted Journey Brown and care who was at running back for my team. He would have been that guy I would have took, guaranteed. So I made him earlier today. And my gift to the Seahawks for playing all his games, going through taking ass whoopings for 4 and 5 seasons straight. to really getting it together. As you can see, he only got 2 30-year-olds on his team, so he's getting it together over there. He's doing a good ass job with putting his team together and turning his losses into wins and playing guys tough now. So I gave him my most improved coach of the year, and I told him I had a gift for him, and that gift is now on his roster. Journey Brown comes into the league at 5'11", 220 pounds with a 4.25 40, 98 speed, 98 excel. He has a monster running back. Now, for all you slick guys, I think you're going to go hit him up and think you can get him to trade him. He will not be going anywhere for 3 seasons. All right, so he has to be on the Seahawks roster for at least 3 seasons before you can even entertain a trade. So, congratulations to Harold, Seahawks. I will be doing it again for the coach that get coach of the year, most improved player of the year again. So this is my award. I'm gonna pick the 3 top teams that I thought was the most improved team of the year, and what I'm gonna do is, you guys are gonna sit here, and I thought I was gonna give this player to the Texans, but I don't think he needs him after looking at his roster. I don't think he needs him. So I have another guy, and it's going to be a couple more players. We'll talk about it. That I didn't make in the draft that belongs in the draft. All right. First, we're going to start with Taekwon Thornton, and you guys know he ran a 4.21 or some shit like that in the 40. Being the fastest man ever on the 40, 99 speed, 99 excel. I made him to go to the Houston Texans because he's out there fighting for us right now, helping us keep Russia in check with the who they helping right now? Who Russia fucking with? Ukraine and shit. Yo, my man, been forever, but you still got a Madden League War Paint. Oh shit, remember War Paint? Where Nano at? Yeah, I still got a league. Fuck. Give me a second. I gotta get him in the 48-hour league. I got to. So shout out to Nano, happy birthday. Alright, so at the end of the year, this guy won't play a down of football all year. He'll sit on my practice squad all year, and when the season is over and I pick the most improved coach of the year, and it doesn't have to be a guy that didn't make the playoffs, or it might be a team like how Rod was last year. He was in the top 3 and he's a playoff team, right? At the end of that year, got any spots that need to get filled? Yes, I do. Alright, buddy. Alright, no more interruptions, hopefully. Alright, so Taekwon Thornton, who from from Bel Air, ran a 4.21, 99 speed, 99 excel. Fastest player to come out right now. This guy will, Josh Allen should be a superstar. He had 9 sacks last season. Hell no. Hoodie, you know what? You can argue that. Go off the numbers of what he did the year before. You can argue that. We'll check. Well, you know what? We'll take a look at that. You got that. You're not wrong. Max had him. Max knows what he did last year. We have to look at the numbers to go from to see. It's not just what he did last year. It's the match of they don't stay playing the same level they played the year before. They come down. So you're right. It might not be a normal. It could be a superstar. And we'll see. We'll let you reach.
Who you talking about?
Josh Allen, the defensive end, he picked him up. He picked him up and shit, and he said he had 9 sacks last year. He didn't have double digits.
No, last year he had 6 sacks. He went down. All his numbers went down across the board.
Right, he had 6 sacks.
He had 6 sacks. The year before that, he had 10 sacks. Like, all his numbers last year went down across the board because he actually started playing them. His tackles went in half, and he's 31.
So as of right now, Devontae Wyatt, Taekwon Thornton, and there's going to be a couple more guys that I left out of the draft that had great combines that will be put back in the draft. Now they'll all be on my practice squad. And as I'm giving out gifts and awards during these podcast shows, you know, some of them might go to guys' teams. But as of now, Thornton will be on this will be an end of the year situation. The most improved team at the end of the year that we call the most improved team will get this kid right here, Taekwon Thornton, to better play with him in his sophomore year next year. All right, let's get back to the Seahawks, and let's get back to their roster. Obviously, they don't have any 30-year-olds, so they get to move on from it.
Tua. Just Tua if you're going to give him because a backup quarterback for a year, but he's 30 now. I don't know how you... Technically, he's 30. He ain't played in 3 years.
Tua coming down like a motherfucker.
He all the way dropped.
This is a good thing because if Tua making bread...
Nah, he not.
Nah, because I already had to chase that bread off of him to give him his $60 million for paying early for the real draft. You got guys out here still ain't motherfucking peeled that dub yet. We gonna have issues really soon. Niggas think they slick. Issues really soon. All you niggas. Know what I mean? Tell them Snake.
Where they at though? They gonna be looking for something in a minute.
You see, I got niggas hitting me asking me, do I still got a league? I will replace you in a fucking heartbeat. Alright, so Tre'Davious White, if he ain't on hoodie roster, he ain't no good. He already a normal. What about TJ Watt? What did he do? Did he earn it? Doesn't matter. He drafted motherfucking Thibodeau, who ran a 4.6, 4.5 today. He might go up in speed. Might got him at the 90. Matter of fact. Let's go look at that right now.
TJ Watt stay on X Factor though.
TJ Watt stay on X Factor. Somebody goes up in speed.
He had 59. He actually went up. More tackles, 18 tackle for loss, and 9 sacks. His sacks went down from 17 to 9, but he went up from 7 to 18 in tackles for losses, and his tackles went up. So I don't know, Sean, he stay up. 18
yeah, good on-field work today. You already see that there. Let's go down here and see if anything improved there. Footwork and all that shit, tackles, hit power, everything already solid. They don't got to touch too much of nothing there. It was just the speed, his agility, and all that shit was good.
Number 3 pick in the draft, or number 2 pick in the draft?
Number 2 pick in the draft. Look, buddy, I'm gonna help you out right here. We're not gonna let you just sit around here and do this shit. Get these guys their fucking number. He wear number 5. I'm gonna put the 7 on him for right now. Make sure you give him the 5. Here, there you go. What's up with you, buddy? You know what I mean?
Shout out to the Steelers and number 2
been waiting 3.5 years to beat Boone again. Man, Boone is in Africa right now. He ain't in the league right now. He over there doing military work for about 6 months to a year, and then he coming back. He ain't gonna have that opportunity. But I tell you who is in here. Remember Falk? You was in his same division and shit. He had the Rams, you had the 49ers. When you was running your YouTube shot plays on him all game and shit. Oh, we gotta go back to the It's a Hard Not Life video, man. That's an old but goodie. What's up, War Paint? Alright, so let me keep it moving. Let's get back to these 30-year-olds over here. You said, what about TJ Watt? He get to stay?
TJ Watt stays.
Alright, so TJ Watt doesn't drop. He get to stay, so shout out to Brian. TJ Watt get to stay. You still get the groom. And if I'm you, wherever TJ Watt is on your depth chart, I will move Thibodeau there so he can get that mentorship and get it popping over there. So look, Thorpe's not there. How about Mika Fitzpatrick at 31 years old? Does he lose his ability?
Ooh, let's dive in.
You're looking at Mika Fitzpatrick, and you're looking at Terrell Edmonds and Najee Harris. They're the next 3 guys.
I think Najee come down. Let's see, Mika Fitzpatrick. His tackles went down. A few more tackles for loss. 3 interceptions. Yeah.
I got diving in that. Let's look at it.
Yeah, he dropped from 81 to 67 tackles. He ain't never really been. He just had an up year. Like, he played around his average. He just had
Mika coming down.
Okay, I figure.
You might save some money with him, but he coming the fuck down. Here
He
we
already
go.
in last year everything. Make it come down. It must come down.
Well, let's save him some money here. That's a lot of money about to get saved right now. Oh my God.
Edmonds don't come down really. Nah, Edmonds don't come down.
Whatever he getting paid this year, you might as well cut that shit in half. But that's what it's about to be. He about to save you some bread.
Mika in last year of his contract anyway.
So I said, whatever he making on that last year, that shit over with. He good. All right. Here we go. Let's keep on moving. What we got going on here? All right. Terrell Edmonds.
Terrell Edmonds, like good. He cool.
Okay. Najee Harris.
Down timber. You might as well go and look at the
Cut
stats.
that tree down.
Yeah.
Not the rookie. I mean, is this the first? Is this the first rookie from the real rookie pool of 2021 that's getting dropped? Are we serious? Oh yeah, he gets slid.
He always like.
Herschel Walker came over and took his job. Herschel Walker Jr. You should have moved him to full. Still, should I give him an opportunity to move him to fullback? He coming down a superstar.
At least superstar, yeah.
Let me ask you this: do you want Najee Harris as a fullback on your roster? If he's at fullback, he can keep his ability as superstar. But if he's, as long as he's a tailback, matter of fact, while you watching the show, hopefully you can change his position right now because I'm gonna give you some time. By the time I come back to your roster, if he's not at fullback, he getting dropped. All right, that's the only 30-year-old there. We got that. He lost some serious situations. Got to keep something. Mark's going to be left alone because he's not around. Then we go to the Tennessee Titans, and we look at the old heads. I ain't even have to push age. They was already there for us. All right. Let's go back to the Steelers. Najee's at fullback now, so they already going to... They're already going to... I don't see him at no damn... I would have to exit out and come back in. I'm not doing all that. All right, back to the Titans.
Right this second. He ain't. Oh, maybe we'll check. I'll go back. I'll check it.
All right,
Texans.
lineman. Nah, Texans is good. He ain't around. I ain't gonna touch him.
He ain't around. Right.
Yeah.
Cool with him.
All right, so we're looking at Tyson Williams already got dropped. What about 31-year-old Jeffrey Simmons at defensive end, superstar?
He actually can stay. Yeah, 41 tackles, 9 tackles for loss, 6 sacks. He actually had more tackles for loss and 1 more sack. Had almost double tackle for loss.
Good job. You get to keep him. Javon Kinlaw should be a star. What do we do with him? I don't think he played for nobody. He might come down to that. Let's get him. Just check the stats just in case I don't want to touch him if he doesn't need to be touched.
Kinlaw. He gonna start now. Yeah, he can cut. He ain't really played over here at all. Just cut him. 15 tackles, 2 tackles last year. 2 sacks.
All right, as we go through him, we keep on going. I wish it just stayed at age and stop doing all this shit. Here we go. Here we go. Amani Hooker should be. I know he ain't playing for this team.
Yeah, he
Take that star.
We can put him down on normal. He ain't played in 2-3 seasons. Gross Martos. You cut Gross Martos too.
Huh?
Put him down. Put your turbo Gross Martos on normal too.
Gotcha.
He ain't played in 2 years. I think he been sitting in free agency for 2 seasons. No Blackman still the starter over here. Yep, he's still good with Julian Blackman. He's still on the same path.
Julian Blackman good?
Yep.
Alright. Now the Vikings, last team that we get into far as age-wise, punter good. What about Troy Dye?
Let me check him, double check him. He technically ain't played the same. He on the same path. He had double-digit sacks. He good.
Montez Sweat.
Irv Smith. He should already be dropped.
Oh yeah, he already dropped. Irv Smith.
Irv Smith, yeah. I think he, let's see.
He on the chopping block.
Yeah, he kind of go all the way down. 400 yards, 2 touchdowns.
Well, let's save this guy some bread. And take that 15 to 10, save him some bread real fast. Alright, and you drop down to normal. And we're out of here with the age guys now, man. Okay, so as we get around the age and stuff, let's continue our story back onto the diaper dandies in the off season. Now, Snake, man, I got through this last night and I stopped at the Colts. We're gonna go back to rosters real fast, and we're gonna look at the Colts and see what they did in the draft, man. And we're gonna tell a story about the off season these Indianapolis Colts had and where they should be at into the future, how they gonna look. What are you looking at, right? Obviously, a lot of guys have really good rosters right now because we're 7 seasons in. Rosters, and we're going to see how guys are going to better manage going because you want to get younger to take us into the summertime, right? So with that being said, we're going to talk about these Colts and what they did. They were sitting at 13 in the draft. He said check them Cowboys. They wanted to check them Cowboys. We did all that. I checked. Those teams been checked already. We dropped those. We dropped the guys we had to drop from teams to the Jaguars is where I stopped at.
Cowboys hit to that. He dropped him in free agency. They all on the Jets. What you talking about?
All his 30-year-olds are sitting on the Jets roster right now. Your mic guru. Can y'all hear me now?
Yeah, that jump is kind of. Yeah, it's straight now.
Straight now? I gotta hook up my wireless ones. Yeah, it's time to get these ones up out of here. I actually got another one I can just open up right now, really. Let me know if I'm good though. If I go out, let me know. But here we go. Let's go through the roster. So listen, they were sitting at number 13 in this draft, and they had some players they wanted to put on the block. Staticky, let's try this. Let me know if I'm good, fellas. You know what? I'll turn the thing on my damn self to find out. Snake, can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you.
Okay. Cause I did step on these. I stepped on my shits. I stepped on them yesterday, so I know my shit is gonna be fucking wire choppy right now. Videos. Let me just make sure.
Yeah, I went to my kitchen. I thought it was mine. I'm like, I'm trying to make sure.
We good. All right, so let's talk about this. So at pick 13, I'm trying to find out if you trying to play tonight or tomorrow, Cowboys. He playing tonight. He said he gonna play you right after the show. He won his gift, just like you should want yours, right? All right.
Yes, sir.
All right, Junior. I want to watch that game too. That's a big game, man. And we're mad at, man. Tell me how I can watch a game and broadcast while they playing. I can show the game and do the broadcast to it. I would love to do that, especially a big time game, man. So Matt, I need you to motherfucking come on headset if you're not driving that big ass truck somewhere right now. Come on headset and show me how to do that, or tell Max to show me how to do something. Figure it out, all right? Because one of you motherfuckers gave me a loss in King Madden, and I ain't like that shit. Start taking commissioner tags, motherfucking Rob. All right, so again, the Colts had the 13th pick in the draft. Now, in the draft, you putting at 13. I would say from 1 to 15 are really good spots to be at when you're drafting. After that, you start to, that mid range, you start to go up into the playoff picks and stuff like that. But he was at 13, and they're Notre Dame fans, so they had their eye on the safety. They wanted Hamilton bad. And sitting at 13, I thought there were a few teams in a way that could possibly get Hamilton before he got to 13. And this is the crazy shit. You're watching the draft, and you're watching picks go off the board. And at pick 1, Derek Stingley goes to the Baltimore Ravens. At pick 2, you see Thibodeau go to the Steelers. At pick 3, Jameson Williams goes to the Jets. At pick 4, I think that was the Colts. The Lions, right? At pick 4.
Yeah, the Lions got Sauce.
They got the other corner, Sauce Gardner, at 4.
Bengals got at 5 at Malik Willis.
Malik Willis went at 5. At 6. Now the Bengals was 6. Somebody else was 5. Who the fuck was 5? I know it was 5. The Texans was 4. The Texans was 4. That's what happened. The Texans was 4, and who they picked? They got a lineman at 4. The Texans got the lineman.
Oh yeah, they got left tackle.
They got Neal. Evan Neal, right? At 4, and then at 5, the Lions took Sauce Gardner, the number 2 cornerback in the draft, and then at 6, Malik Willis goes off the board to the Bengals, right? So you see this now. Right now, Kyle Hamilton hasn't been picked yet. So now the first team that I thought possibly would pick him, I thought at 5 was the Lions, and they picked. They went corner instead. They went Sauce corner, 6'3" stud. Actually, might be the best corner in the draft, possibly. Derek Stingley, him. Got a couple guys anyway. So then you get to 7, and that's the Tennessee Titans. And I knew a safety was going off the board, but I knew the fastest safety would go off the board. So the Titans picked a good situation because they picked a tweener. They picked a guy that plays cornerback and safety, right? And that guy can play cornerback and safety all year long, so he defies our rules. But they picked the fastest corner in the fucking world, 98 speed, 98 safety. 98 speed, 98 excel at safety, Daxton Hill. He's gonna run a fast 40 tomorrow. You guys gonna see that shit. Then he already went up a speed point. But that was pick number 7. Then at 8, I think it was the Falcons. Or were they at 9? It was the Falcons, because at 9 was the Chiefs at 9, and then at 10, who the fuck was the 10th team? Who had the 10th pick in this draft, man? But I thought the Falcons would go safety, right? I thought he had an issue between the Falcons, the Chiefs, and the Chargers. The Chargers had the 11th pick, because the football team had the 12th and Mike had the 3rd. So by the time Kyle got, I thought Kyle could go in the top 10, but I thought it was 3 teams that could definitely pick him in that top 10. So when we got to pick number 10 and he didn't get picked, at 11, I knew the Chargers was going to pick him, and I knew it was over right then and there. So even if the Chargers drafted, he was picking him. Even if they didn't draft, he had his board set for them to pick him. So imagine you being at 13, and the player you want is still there, coming off the top 10 pick, and we know you dealing with a top 10 player, and then all of a sudden at 11 he gets taken, and you know the guy that took him ain't even drafting right now. How sick you had to be. Really mad. But he flipped the switch on us, and he went and got the defensive end, Aiden Hutchinson, who I think is, again, one of the best players in the draft. He's definitely a top 10 player, and you get a guy right now with the Green Owls up on his rookie season right now with the Green Owls up. He's a 94 overall. After having a great combine today, and remember, my scale is partially Madden scale, but it's my own scale too. So I've been using this same scale since Madden 17, actually 18. So he goes up to a 90 speed, 91 excel. We think he's a 4.5 guy. He ran a 4.7, but we think he's so good on the field, so play. We counted the football speed that he has versus just these guys that train all year for the 40. Some of them play at a different speed on the field. The Notre Dame's running back ran a 4.7, and we know for a fact he's a 4.3 on the field. And he'll run a faster pro day, guaranteed. So Aiden Hutchinson, you go from at 13, you still get yourself a top 5 player at 13. So I really love that. I brought it up because he really had his mindset on a safety, and in my opinion, he didn't really need that safety. And I thought this draft had so many safeties in it that even if you didn't get that type of player, now if you would have got the safety Hamilton at 13, that would have been a great fucking pick, and it would have been a steal. But the fact that you got Aiden Hutchinson at 13 to me, is better than you getting a safety at 13, because this was a top 5 player, top 5 for sure. One of the highest overall guys that we had in the draft, period. So they won there, and he's already making an impact for this team. That was their first pick, and then I think they came back in the second round. I'm almost 100% sure they got Ritter in the second round.
Ritter, yeah.
If they didn't get Ritter, it was the wide receiver from Notre Dame. Yep, so they come back, pick 13 in the second round, and get the best quarterback in the draft, in my opinion. I don't know why they like the kid from Pittsburgh over him. I can understand Malik Willis, but they don't even have Malik Willis in front of him. I just want to know how Kenny Pickett is a better quarterback than Desmond Ritter. He's been doing it longer, and he's been playing to have Cincinnati in the runnings to be a playoff team in college for 2 years straight. Just that they're Cincinnati and their strength of schedule don't allow them to lose a game and still be in the playoffs. Simple as that. But this kid is lights out, and then he goes out there and run a 4.4 on a 40-yard dash. And then he goes out there and display his arm strength and talent all over the place. And I thought Mike made a great pick here. So then once you get on track and get a top 5 player in the first round, you come back, in my opinion, and got a top 15 player in the second round. That's very, very special. This is good drafting going on right now. So right now, I think he's winning in the offseason right now, right? So then you go look at the running backs. He was able to go get a couple guys. You know, he brings in Keiondre White. He gets the superstar on him, 93 speed, 93 excel. And then you got Tyler Algieri from BYU, and you got a pounder, 2 pounders to go along with, you know, Joey Adai, who's already getting up there in age. Now you got 2 guys you can build up and even start. I think White will play a lot. Zaquandre White was a Florida State, transferred to South Carolina. He had a blown knee. And as he gets back to full strength, he's going to be a problem in real life. So I think he will be on the NFL roster in real life, as it's said and done. Continue to go through here. They go get their guy, Kevin Austin Jr., who ran a really fast 40, as you can see, 96 speed, 95 excel. And they get our guy out of free agency in Devin Tompkins. He's been a real draft special guy at one point. He's finally at the time where he comes out in real life. So I like what they did. They got better at wide receiver. They brought in a weapon for their quarterback, Desmond Ritter, who comes in and starts day one. As they look at the line, I don't know how much they attacked the line, but they already had a pretty solid line. So let's just go through it real fast. Didn't need to really attack the line. And they did. Logan Bruss, 84 overall superstar, 78-84 from Wisconsin. You know, does he crack the starting lineup? I don't know. I doubt it. They can redshirt him for a year. But they're solid there. So Rittler comes into a team that already has an offensive line, already has some weapons already out there. I think they're in a good situation because they got good tight ends, they got good receivers, they just completed their backfield. They brought in an ultimately fast quarterback that can dual threat his ass off. And he's a famous name from Real Draft last year. So I love the quarterback position. Love what they did. As we continue to look, Aiden Hutchinson, like I said, might be the best pass rusher in the draft. And solid. So Quiddy Pays over here. They pick up Joshua Pascal from Kentucky. This is a steal out of free agency. So they're loading their team up, and they're starting to get backups to go along with it. Guys that they can redshirt at the D-tackle spot. They're already young there, 23 and 25 years old there. Left outside linebacker. They pick up JoJo Domain. You know, he's sitting there just to be a practice squad guy, practice squad guy in real life, or he's going to be a special teams guy for this team. At the middle linebacker, they went crazy the last 2 years with Cedric Kidd and then with CJ Westbrook last year. Now they got over here J.O.K. He can mentor Jordan Strahan from South Carolina, who I think is going to be a really good player as well. But he has time to sit and redshirt. What they did was they gave themselves depth. And there's nothing wrong with that. They also pick up Tyreek Bracy, that he had a gift for him too. So that puts him in a situation where he gets a superstar now, and he's legit. You know what I mean? +2 speed, +2 excel. With the superstar changes some things over here with him. He could become a guy that's going to be in your top 4 in your cornerback position. I heard Nate Dickerson at 6'1", 202 pounds, 94 speed, 94 excel. Superstar is on a block. Now, a 23-year-old at 6'1", with 94 speed, 94 excel, 86 man, 80 zone, and only 1 year in. He's loaded already. He's a good player, and anybody that need a corner, in my opinion, should be already hitting this roster up. I like Roger McCray from Auburn. Covered the #1 receivers in the in the SEC 3 years. And he did a really good job of doing that. So this kid, I think after we watch his pro day, he's going to go up too. Marcus Jones out of Houston. Size kills him at 5'8", 185. But as you can see, 93 speed, 96 excel. This guy you get out of free agency. So now you got extra corners over here, right? They all young. You can go on in your future with some good situations. They trade the Ravens for Leon O'Neal from Texas A&M, the superstar safety that came out. He played strong safety, moved on the free at 6'2", 215. He could play the sub package with 94 speed, 94 excel. They picked George Pickens up, the receiver, and they traded him to the Ravens, swapped out because they wanted a safety, and we swapped player for player, superstar for superstar. And he didn't realize George Pickens ran a 4.3, 4.4 flat, right? And that changed some things over there for us, but whatever. But I just want to tell you that because he picked up another. Say that again.
Moves. And we're gonna talk about the Ravens. Funky
them
dope moves over here,
funky
man.
Dopes, boy. They made another funky dope today.
Man, look,
that should be a motherfucking Skibibbles. That should be a Skidimes. Huh?
Where he at? Where you at, Max? Where you at?
That should be a Skidimes move.
Skibibbles?
We should talk about Skibibbles and Skidimes the way they was moving.
Yeah, man. Sheesh.
Shit, them Ravens had a blockbuster trade today. You see when Max put in the chat, Adolphe Owe. I thought you said that motherfucker was a lifer. He wasn't going nowhere.
Wow.
Ain't nobody safe over there in Baltimore. Boy, they're off your head in a heartbeat. Build them and they will come. Build them and they will come.
Oh my
Simple
God.
As a
as
Raven
that.
fan, I'm just hurt.
Oh my God, Adolphe Owe is no longer a Raven.
I think he might have just gave the Seahawks the craziest linebacker core in the league.
That's a beautiful thing.
I mean, that might be the fastest linebacker core in the league because you get a guy with 96 speed, 98 excel over there. Already had a guy running like that. That's crazy. All right, so when you look at this Colts team, I love what they did. They had Deontay Griffin and they had Deion Harris on the block all last year, and nobody came and got these 25-year-old players. Nobody came and got them, right? So now he had both of them playing strong safety. Just a little bit of one of them go to free safety. Now you got some sub linebackers in James Stringer, and then you also bring in Leon O'Neal. And in my opinion, you play Leon O'Neal at the sub linebacker all year and let him develop there before you drop him back and let him play deep. I love their grade. I love their draft. I think they did a really good job. They got the best, to me, maybe the best quarterback. Malik Harris as far as Madden, because you got to put D'Eriq King up there too, as far as a Madden player. You know what I'm saying? So I think D'Eriq King, Desmond Ridder, Malik Willis, even Kenny Pickett. These guys are good players, but those guys are going to be the standout quarterbacks because of their 40 times. So to me, Mike got the best quarterback overall, best quarterback in the draft. He picked up a steal at receiver because he had a great 40. You picked up a hard-hitting strong safety / free safety that got linebacker talent but can run and cover like a DB should. So you got that in a trade. You picked up a lineman to be a mentor, and you got some good players out of free agency along with the cornerback position. So they kind of touched everything. They did a really good job. Now it's, and they're in a situation where they need to just let this team gel now. Gel and play together for a few years before you start blowing it up and putting new starters on the field. Keep these guys playing for some years, and I think they can contest with those Jaguars over there, man. So shout out to Mike, good job. Now those Cowboys, let's talk about it. All right, so the Cowboys, Sidney Cake is struggling right now, but to me, they got a sleeper at quarterback right here. A real big sleeper. I like this pickup right here. And we check on his 40 time, we might be dealing with a guy that might have an opportunity to start. Because Sidney Cake is not playing that good football right now. Although it's early in the year, he's still not playing good football. And if we look at this quarterback right now, because we might have to wait till his pro day, but this quarterback to me is a sleeper. Very big sleeper. When did you pick him up? Was this a free agency move? Undrafted player type situation, or
undrafted situation, man. We brought him in right immediately after the draft, man. Told him come on in here.
I want to see something. I want to check out his combine results. So NFL prospect. Let's see what he did. So you're looking at 6'2", 207 pounds. Let's look at the 40 time of this guy. Give me a second, fellas. I want to see something, because this might be a steal. If you ride out with me, you know what a steal look like. You know what I'm saying? Let's look at the 40 time. Because if this kid has a good 40, he might have not have ran a 40 at the combine, or would have popped right up. No, he looking at. Yeah, nah, I don't see nothing that's so speed. Alright, so it looks like the starting quarterback Sidney Cake is safe for right now. But they got a serviceable backup. But I ain't even worried about him because Arnold Walden got picked up out of free agency as well. So they solid at quarterback. They are struggling with him, but the running back position I love. So what they did was Joey Cummins. Now they got a first round graded, first round, late first round, early second round player in Wandale Robinson. Speed demon, right? But this kid played running back, quarterback, receiver. At Nebraska, he was a running back, played some receiver, slot, all that shit. Went to Kentucky, they polished him up as a receiver, and then he showed how talented he really was in the SEC against the top talent, in college football. He stood out among, standouts. So he was the guy. But what they did was they might have got themselves the highest overall player in the draft by getting a guy that was a first round talented receiver that might have came out of 84. And because he defies our position switching rules, because he's a tweener and he played both positions, they moved him to running back, and he comes out on a 92 overall. So that gives them the highest overall player in the draft to come out the draft. Now it's going to take some time to get him back playing running back in the league. He has some fumbling issues right now. But you're dealing with a guy with 95 speed, 98 excel, who absolutely speed might go up because of his pro day. He might even go up in the 40 time. I wouldn't be surprised to see it. So I love what they did here, and they gave themselves a weapon, right? And there's a difference between, having the traditional Cowboys run right down your fucking throat with Joey Cummins. Now they got a guy that could do a little bit of everything. So I like what they got over here. Daquan DeVoe, they spent time on the midget last year developing him, and because Joey Cummins mentored him, he went from a normal to a superstar really fast. And that's what happens when you got the right staff points and know what you're doing with your staff points. And training, fellas, you can get guys developed. Now, you continue to look. Hartman left this team. Oskino left this team. They had to get better at receiver. They did go out and get J. Kalon Pittman, and he got them from the Lions last year in the trade. So they replaced one of the receivers they lost. As you keep going, Greg Jones has to step up. You're looking at Josh Perkins, but they got Dejon Dixon out of free agency. I thought was a pretty solid move. He's on superstar. And they also got Josh Johnson. Now, where did the superstar come? Did he come with it?
Yeah, he was
That's
on
a pickup on superstar. I know he was, because he played for Nicholls State. And the reason why I made him a superstar, I apologize, is because, I just don't think you should discredit a player because he played at a lesser college. He wasn't a Power 5 at a Power 5 school, Nicholls State, right? He dominated at his level of football. Dominated, and because he dominated, I thought, I still think he could play at a superstar level. I don't care if you at Jackson State, HBCU, playing football, or you at Rowan University, which is a Division III school. If you dominate, I think you could play at the next level. And I think if you dominated, you deserve to come out as a dominator. And that's what we did with Dejon Dixon. Don't worry about the name being spelled wrong. Madden won't let us put certain shit on the game, so I had to spell it real funky. Let me ask you, Snake, in the process of this, we'll hurry this up, get through some of this before y'all play y'all games. Let me ask you, does he start for you?
Man, he's definitely touching the field like it's Wendell play wide receiver, getting snaps at wide receiver as well, but he's definitely up there, like number 2 up there.
Okay. All right. So when you lose a guy like Hartman and Oskino, and you go to replace him, because you also got Josh Johnson, 5'10", out of Tulsa, 95 speed, 95 excel. He's going to need work on his route running and shit, but he has the speed. So I would think he'll play a little bit of special teams, kick returner, punt returner. This team's going to go through Tree Owens and Pittman. And the way they play football, don't forget, they don't really need a true slot receiver over there. Although Dixon is, 6'4", they could put I mean, 6'6", 6'3", 6'4". They're huge over here. So their slot receiver is actually sitting at running back right now, and that's the problem. They got a weapon X, right? Wandell, the weapon creator, the creator weapon, with the greatest weapon creator. I don't know. We're gonna find out a nickname for him when he start to step, but we'll see later on when he start to step. All right. Tight end, they already been Slaughter's the guy over there, Sergeant Slaughter. He's the man. On the line, they didn't have to get a left tackle. This team, you know, already had a pretty solid line over here. I don't know if they picked up a lineman at all. We're gonna go through it. It doesn't look like they did, but they're clean on that offensive line. All right, they good at defensive end. You look at the right and left. They Bugsy Smith. This is Bruce Smith's son. Gerald Woods is here. They solid there at the D tackle spot. Connor Carroll's been there since draft 1, but they moved Sammy Nicholson from the defensive end to the D tackle. All he did, I mean, now you got a guy with 90 speed, 96 excel. All he doing is dominating from that position right now. Solid move. I'll tell you one thing: the Cowboys do a good job with their roster. Period. Whether it's trade and hit free agency or even position changing guys to better do some things, and I'll tell you why. So when you get results out of a player from going from defensive end to D tackle, and what he did at D end, starting to get overshined by the quick couple of games he's been the D tackle, because he's keeping Connor Carroll for being a #1 D tackle on his team now. This kid is explosive, and it starts with the speed, 90 speed, 96 excel. That's where he's winning at right there. He's too fast. And he's still strong enough to better do it, because look, you're doing an 89 speed, 89 strength DN that's playing D tackle for you. You're beating people with pure finesse. This ain't block shedding. This ain't power moves. This ain't none of that. This is finesse, because 89 strength ain't gonna cut it. But he's beating guys with his speed and his athleticness, so he's winning those matchups right now. Good shit. Their linebackers are already solid. They do get Terrell Bernard, who's a sleeper linebacker. If you don't know this guy, go watch his highlight for Beller. He's always making tackles. He's really a dog. I like this kid. We'll see him tomorrow when the linebackers and DBs go, and you'll better see how good he really is going to be. Tyler White's there, Johnny Hells. These guys are all Pro Bowl players just sitting on this roster. Lucas Carney's there, and then they pick up Florida's Jeremy Moon at 6'3", 245, 85 speed, 91 excel. Solid guy that'll play special teams for this team for right now. At the secondary, when you lose the Humphreys and it's time to move on, I don't even see where the hell did Baby Boy go?
Dropping speed, yeah, safety, man. Yeah, backup safety, just mentoring, bro. We moved on from Diggs, Humphreys, and Mookin.
They moved on from Diggs, Humphreys, Israel Moo, and they also traded Calvin Joseph last year too. So they got a whole nother like they had to go in depth and go cornerback here. So Markel Terry came from the Titans. He was the best corner the Titans had. This was a good pickup by them. 6'3". You know, they got tall receivers. A lot of people in their division got tall receivers, so they're prepared to cover those tall receivers with tall corners. Then you go low and get Rashad Grant, 5'9", but he's superstar at 95 speed, 95 excel. Cash Money sitting here at 6'1", superstar from Alabama, 96, 94. They pick up Kyer Elam, who's a first-round graded corner in the draft from Florida. Dog. They also get Andrew Booth, who was one step away from me making him a superstar. Before we got to the draft, I changed him from a superstar to a star. And the reason why I did that is because I just kept going back and watching film, and he's been a starter, and it was like other corners that just kept playing in front of him, and then he finally got his opportunity, and Clemson had a down year last year, so he had a down year. Only reason why he wasn't a superstar. All right, they get Deshaun Jameson out of free agency, solid, 95 speed, 89 excel. You'll see tomorrow that 89 excel will soon match that 95 speed. All right, then they get Tyree Johnson from Ohio State, who they didn't even know themselves is a tweener. And then when you look at him, you know he wasn't finished, because you see he's a tweener. He plays safety and cornerback for Ohio State. So this is a guy that's going to have high hit power that they can move around and do some things with. I like it. I like what they did so far. You go to safeties, they got Trayvon Diggs is now playing safety like most great corners did. Charles Woodson, Rod Woodson, those type of corners, before their careers was over, they moved to safety and gave themselves an extra 4 or 5 years to play. Zaya Ali is a dog, but they pick up Smoke Monday, in my opinion, was a fucking steal. Alright, well, watch Auburn kid run this 40 tomorrow, and I think if he gives us a 4-3, this is a super steal.
James, the Lakers came back.
Turn that shit off. I don't want to hear that opera shit. That's like hearing Rod, little badass son. That shit turn right back on. Alright. So Smoke Monday at safety, I think he can be a problem for this team. It's a good pickup there as well. And then you look at Junior Bonds. Now Solo Savage, and the reason why I said the Cowboys do a good job with their, position changing players and understanding what type of players they got. This kid is a corner. Came out of corner in the draft. All right, because we label him a tweener and he can do everything in the secondary. They're winning right now with doing things. I mean, the record's not showing it, but they're winning games and playing and staying in games with Solo Savage and all how they position move him. So you take him from corner and move him to safety. The moment you do that, you open up the fact that he's 6'4", 215 pounds, and he's a true cornerback. We're looking at a guy with 93 man, 80 zone. He's being built lopsided because the Cowboys run man more than they run zone, so he's not getting work at zone, so that 93 to 80 is lopsided as hell to me. Too many points, 13 points away from each other is too far, but he got 90 press. He's a straight cover guy, 99 speed, 98 acceleration. Bottom line, the moment he moved him to safety, he opened him up to be able to play sub linebacker. Now, you got a cornerback, a true cornerback that's playing sub linebacker, and he can do it because of the rules, because he's a tweener, right? And because of that, he can use him all over the place. And this guy already started off with, if you go back to, the first 4 or 5 years, they did the same thing with their linebacker, Mekhi Parsons, right? They did the same thing, moved him all over, defensive end, the middle linebacker, outside linebacker. He did everything, jack of all trades. And they seem like they find those players. Wan'Dale Robinson, their first-round pick. Mekhi Parsons, their first-round pick. Solo Savage, their first-round pick. All these guys in common can play anywhere, and they do multiple things for this team, so they're getting the max out of these guys. Love it. Cowboys are on some things right now, man. Hopefully that might be the new trend you start to see. Guys start to look for those type of players. They better move them around and do the same things with. So shout out to the Cowboys. Love what you did. All right. Now, I'm going to stop at the Cowboys right now. We got some games to play because I want to catch this Cowboys-Browns game, actually. And I got a game to play with the Jets, too. So we're going to stop there. I'm going to learn how to be able to watch a game while we're on our broadcast, while we're on our podcast show, and we commentate the game while it's happening, while everybody can watch it. Now, Matt in my other league, 48-hour league, said we can do this. He's going to show me how to do it. Warpaint, if you're still on, you can call me right now. I can get you into the league so you can join our 48-hour league. And if and go from there. You heard? Other than that, this is AntHits, the franchise guru. Real talk. You already know what we're talking about. Episode 3. I will start to build the next real draft class now that the rookies are opened up. Right now I can get into it and start editing, and I'm still finishing up the editing on guys. We still got a long process with this first group, right? I still got to be able to change and fix people 40 times out there. At the same time, fix their attributes. Some guys go up. We're not going to kill guys to go down. If they got to go down, they go down a little bit. We're not going to take guys away from what you drafted and kill your hopes of, damn, he was a fucking 98 speed, now he at 91. What the fuck? We ain't gonna do that to y'all. But we're still doing editing because things are still happening. The combine is still happening.
Combine is still going on.
Then there's going to be pro days after that. So we still got a long process with the first class. That's why real draft is so fun. And things can change, and it's going to be guys that I left out the draft that will get put in the draft, and there'll be ways for you guys to get these players. All right, other than that, AntHits, the franchise guru. The next time you see me, I'll be in a broadcasted game against the New York Jets. Holla at us.